Hey, I'm back, but on a different show. Welcome to Live Training with Benzinga. Spencer, there's Mitch. It's orange now. Good job, Mitch. There's Ryan. What's up, Ryan?
What's going on, folks?
And Zunaid will be here in about 10 minutes, give or take, or so he claims. So, how was your weekend, guys?
Not bad. Got myself a new little audio interface, so you probably aren't hearing Darth Mitch.
Darth Mitch is gone, it would appear.
Darth Mitch is gone.
Unfortunately. But guess what? I still got my AMC.
Nice. Ryan, how was your weekend?
My weekend was good. The Bears didn't play. They played tonight, so they didn't have an opportunity to lose and embarrass themselves. So I had a great weekend of just consuming all of the other football, both college and pro.
Herbert
started him on my fantasy team. So my weekend was pretty good. I'll be honest. I was really anxious for the markets to open. I don't know. We're in that period of the year where I'm just super excited and happy. The holiday season. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to do this. Just like Jesse, Jeff D's in the chat. He's ready to go. We're ready to go and trade today.
We're ready to go. Before we start, let me just give one warning to everyone because I flew this weekend and it was ridiculous. So it was a random weekend and it was a zoo at the airport, worse than I've ever seen it. So my PSA is if you're flying this holiday season or anytime in the next few months, I would say give yourself extra time at the airport. Don't be like me sprinting through the airport to catch your flight because it is not fun. And now let's start the show.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Those words have been dancing around my head all night. Oh, it's Vegas law, that phrase.
Kiana.
Fisher.
Joy.
Joe. Cards drawn are the past, ones to come are future.
And the best part? It's beatable.
All right. Let's start us off on a high note by everyone taking a second and hitting that like button. We would appreciate that. Thank you very much. Let's start with the screen share. Who wants to start? Mitch, why don't you start us off? Let's bring your charts up on the screen here. What are you watching this morning?
Whoa! It looks like I selected my other screen there. Let me fix screen there. Here, this is the one I normally share with you guys.
There you go.
All right, there you go. Overall market still ripping. We'll see when this turns around, but right now we're in pure melt up mode. Infrastructure's bill going through now, going to help up the melt up mode. I think we still got a little bit to go. I mean, if you look at this, it's about a 7% move in the SPY. Not many times do you get that kind of move straight up and not a turnaround eventually. But for right now, let's go ahead and see if we can push the RSI to 100. Right now it's at 89. We'll see if it gets up there to 100 on the SPY. So that's just showing me a little bit of a warning sign eventually for a turnaround. But for right now, momentum. We're trying to stick with those names. Infrastructure names I'm going to give out today. ChargePoint has been one. I've been drawing this box up to this trend line for a while. Getting on it up to 30s is where I think it can get on up. Then you'll see a pullback. That's what I'll be looking for. So ChargePoint, EVgo is some that you can keep on watch. Another one that you can keep on watch and you can use kind of how I've been looking at it is you go to technology and then you're looking at electric components. This is where a lot of these are going to be trading up today. Polo, one that I definitely have given out at 550s. Remember, I gave that out last week. Why did I give this one out? Because I was looking for these plays. Remember, Ryan, we were talking about this on Friday, that we were going to start looking for ESG fuel plays. And why? Because I was expecting the infrastructure bill to come into play. This could have got you in all these names on Friday. This is why you got to be ahead of the market, not prior to the news. After the news has happened, you're going to be late to the moves. So a lot of times I like to get into these names off of support, looking for the catalyst to come into play to move the name up. Today, Polo ripping already. I can't even catch it now. Look at this. Already up there about 11% on the day. HTOO is another one I gave out that I'm going to be looking for it to rip. Hopefully this one holds off into the open, because I could see this one ripping through 14 today. That would be about a 7% move on up. We'll see that move and see if we can get it in HTOO. Other plays to watch: LAZR. You can look at autonomous plays. You can look at EV plays today. Fisker putting out some news over the weekend. There's going to be a lot on the move, guys. So if you guys see anything or you have a specific watch list, definitely throw it in the chat. And I think we got the one and only Yolo man coming in here. But of course, we can go to Ryan first.
Wait, well, let's introduce the Yolo man.
Introduce Yolo man.
The fourth member of I'm not sure what I was going to say there. Zunaid, what's up, my man?
I was really wondering what name you were going to give us. What's up, fellas?
I'm going to give us the Fellowship of the Trade.
Ooh, I like it. I like it.
Let's get those t-shirts made.
Wait, what about the Fellowship of the Zing, though? That's
okay. I'm flexible. I'm not.
Hey, looks like I got to make another intro. I got us.
What's up, Brian? Go ahead, man.
Yeah, so real quick, Mitch was talking about a lot of those different charging plays as part of the infrastructure bill. One of the things that I'm going to go back on and kind of focus on here is something that our community has been all over from the beginning here, and that's been Chara. A number of people, the biggest beneficiary of the infrastructure bill. I'm sorry, I don't know what is going on with my pro here. The biggest beneficiary of the infrastructure bill is going to be the concrete space and green concrete. This is the thing behind the thing. So I get it with Charging Point. The news today for EV Go is really good. And I'm imagining that that's going to have other people or other names, excuse me, are going to trade up. But don't forget some of the less sexy, if you will, aspects of this infrastructure bill. This is I'm going to be in this for a long-term hold. This is going to be a number of year hold, but this is really going to benefit from the infrastructure bill.
Not a bad play. I like the play. One thing that I've been mentioning, and I mentioned this on pre-market prep, is that I'm looking for infrastructure plays that were actually weak on Thursday or Friday, because that could actually give you some strength going into the reversal into today. All right. Any other one you want to take a look at, Ryan, before we get to Zunaid?
As far as ESG plays, that's all I got. I'm actually waiting for that to develop, but I am also going to watch tech today. I know Apple looks to be a little bit flat. I suspect that trades up today. I also noticed that Bitcoin tried to print 6,700, so we might get some of those Bitcoin plays on tap today as well. I'm going to watch those from the open.
Well, you gave one from Waste Management, so I'll give another one here. Li-Cycle. This is a DSPAC stock that actually recycles lithium. So look at this play, maybe an infrastructure play going through the high right here today, which would be 1337. Let's see if it gets that rip through 13. That's Licy, Licy. And Zunaid, now it's time. The one and only. You need like a little superhero cape or something, like Yolo Man.
Hey, we'll work on those t-shirts, man. We'll get them mobile, get myself a little outfit here. But look, last week was a great week, thanks mainly to NVIDIA, Lucid, and Ford. Ford calls are doing really well. I have not sold many of my contracts simply because I'm hoping for that Rivian IPO. We'll talk about that in a second. In terms of NVIDIA, I want to see, hopefully, if it kind of retests this $300 area, and if it holds, I want to get some calls. Of course, $299 would be my stop loss on that one. LCID, this one has been hot. I mean, maybe the last 15 minutes, they were coming in at the $40 calls for this week, so I went and grabbed some, and I'm expecting this one again. It looks like EV has been hot, hoping the Rivian IPO gets some momentum, so I'm going to try to take this one over $40. Or if it comes back to $40, I'll go ahead and grab this one. So that's what I'm taking a look at. If there was ever a YOLO that I was going to take this week, it might be Ford calls, whether that's the 19 and a half, or the $20 calls. Just again, the IPO, I expect it to be hotter. I think it was priced at supposed to be like 50-something million, and now they're saying 70-something billion. Excuse me, not million. And as it becomes closer and closer, I would expect that price to continue going up, and therefore Ford, which has a stake in Rivian, would kind of get a little increase as well. So there's that. And then lastly, taking a look at Apple to see if it tests 150, holds, and then we grab some calls similar to how it did right around here, if you will. So for test, we grab some calls. If it breaks, then we get out of the position. Tesla, something else I'm looking at. Sorry, not Tesla, Peloton. This was supposed to be that short for me. This one was really frustrating. My attitude was completely awful on Friday, I think it was, because I had puts for when it broke 57 and it gave me like a point, but then it came right back up and then it started fading much, much later. So this was annoying. But anyway, I'm hoping if it does go ahead and break 50 to 50, I will grab some puts because I do expect it to get to $50.25. So I'm hoping to get $2 out of that one. But those are my short trades.
Okay, and as for what I'm watching today, I don't remember if Mitch put this idea in my head this morning, but on Friday, if you recall, I was talking about reopening trade, right? We had the Pfizer headline on Friday. They had their drug. It was very effective against COVID. And I was wondering, would reopening stocks react to that? They did. Now, if you look at a bunch of these reopening plays, look at the airlines, look at the cruise lines, a lot of them are at or approaching some form of technical resistance in some way, shape, or form. So for NCLH, for example, we got some recent resistance at 20, basically 29, where we are right now, right? You can look at Delta Airlines, and these all stick out like a sore thumb, right? Delta Airlines, you've got some resistance above 45, right? You got UAL, where we just broke above resistance. You've got American Airlines, we're at a quad top right now at 21, 22. Royal Caribbean is approaching its triple top at $99, right? Your high from before COVID. A lot of these reopening plays are approaching resistance, and they're all on my radar, because if they all break above that, then I'm buying them all. But I can't buy them just yet. But I'm
interestingly enough, there's some overlap, Spence. On my nightly scan, I had American Airlines on that scan in terms of a technical. You had mentioned, we are kind of at resistance here. I'd almost say resistance is about that 2250 area. Yeah. I think if we pop above that, 26 is going to be the next area. So we've got about $3.50 here worth of play. Pretty decent chart as long as we can get up and stay over this. We'll see how it goes. But this one was actually on my list.
Yeah, and JetBlue, a lot of them, right? Maybe not quite at resistance, but approaching resistance. And I can't buy them now, but I'm watching all of them. And if anyone breaks through, give me a quarter of breathing room here, 25 cents of breathing room. If anyone breaks through, then I'm buying with a stop at that resistance level. That's the plan.
All right. Well, I'm going to call one out here that I've been bearish before, but one of the things that you got to be able to do is as a swing trader or a trader in general is be flexible, be knowing when to flip on your ideas here. So I'm going to go ahead and flip here. Boeing, I'm going to call a long here. Really like the candle on Friday. Now it's starting to pushing on up there through the 220s. That's kind of the area that I would look for pullback buys in with Boeing. But this is one just to add to Spencer's ideas, looking for that reopening type of play. For me, this last bounce right here, that's perfect for you to go off of that 205. Now I could see this one coming back towards 270. And if you remember, this one still hasn't even gotten back to pre-pandemic times before we crack down, let's say, by this 300 or 310 area. So I'm going to go ahead and call out Boeing here on the long side for a swing.
Yeah. Love it. I'm into that as well.
By the way, we did have a ticker called MCHP. I don't even know what this is, but they did go ahead and announce a $4 billion stock repurchase program. I'm looking to double check it. But this obviously can have be a nice catalyst for us. I am waiting to confirm that news. If anyone else has it,
it's in the news feed. Yeah,
I've got it in the news feed here. This will be something that we should keep an eye on, especially if options are coming in. This could be really nice. For me, it'll just be over $90.
All right, I want to take a second here just to make sure, guys. Looks like we got over 668 people here watching with us right now. So if you guys could do us a favor, the biggest thing that we want to do is grow this community. This is going to be an everyday thing right here on Benzinga. So that you guys could do us the favor is hit the share button. Let your friends know, hey, maybe some of them are looking for a community that they can trade for free in. This is it right here on Benzinga. So go ahead and hit that share button down below and let everybody know.
That's it, man. Hit the like, hit the share, hit the subscribe, do all those things. We got 10 minutes. Well, actually more than that. We got 12 minutes until the
Spencer, how about we do something that we should do consistently? Let's use our movers tool to call out the top gappers of the day.
You are reading my mind, man. You're reading my mind.
Everybody really looks at.
You're reading my mind because you can see, look at my screen. I already had the trade desk open on the right. Why? Because I looked on the left and I saw TTD is the number 2 mover this morning. I do have some filters on.
I'll throw you some relationships.
Full disclosure, I do filter out the low price stocks. So let's get rid of that filter for purposes of this show. We'll get rid of all my filters and just go everything. Okay, so now we have more here. But the trade desk is what jumped out to me as your biggest non-really small stock mover of the day. And they had earnings, right? You see them right there. Earnings this morning, EPS beat 18 cents versus 15 cents. Sales also beat 301 versus $283 million. They gave guidance that was above the estimate. TTD up 21.9% this morning in the pre-market session. That jumped out to me right away, but you can see tickers PPSI, right? Pioneer Power Solutions up 92% this morning. I do not know the news. I don't need to know the news. I just know the stock is up. Oh, look, that's the news. Here, I'll zoom in for you. That's the news. They're launching eBoost smart mobile EV charging stations.
What? Did someone say charging?
PPSI just did, and that's why they're at 92%. You've got AUTL, Autolus Therapeutics. Don't even know this one. Don't need to know it. Hey, look, an investment, a private equity investment in the company. It sounds familiar, guys? $250 million investment in AUTL from Blackstone. So AUTL trading higher on that headline. The trade desk, I just went through that. We know that. CLNN Clean, not a name I know. Don't need to know it. It's up 18% this morning. You got some direction funds. Hey, look, EVgo. We've talked about that this morning, up at 17.6%. GOTU is one of your Chinese online education names. Don't know why it's up, but there it is. That's why it's up, because a headline from Dow Jones that China is going to issue more than a dozen licenses to let these companies do after-school tutoring. So here, BEDU is higher, EDU is higher, GOTU is higher, TAL is higher. These are all the Chinese education names, and they're all trading higher this morning on that news. We got a bunch of big movers this morning. If you look here at a lot of stocks up double-digit percent in the pre-market session here. A lot of crypto names. You see Bitfarms trading higher, as you'd expect. A lot of the crypto miners all higher off Bitcoin, and we had a lot. There are some days you come in and there's not that many big gainers. We got a lot of big gainers today. That jumps out to me right away. And then on the loser side, yeah, there's always losers as well. You got EHTH, eHealth, down 38.5% on their earnings report this morning. They missed on their EPS. They missed on their sales. Oh, a bad miss on their sales, too. They missed by 33% on their sales. Not great. JOBS, 51 job. Down. They gave an update on their go private transaction. Looks like they're not. Looks like they didn't find a buyer, is what happened here. JOBS. So it's down 23%. Nothing really jumps out to me as far as names that I'm familiar with on my down movers here this morning. Any names jump out to you guys?
Let me go ahead and see here. To me, I would be paying attention to, of course, EV. Polo, we already talked about, so definitely keep your eyes on that one. Proterra, PTRA right there, up 14.7%. That's all in buses, guys. So that's a bus play. I'll give you a relationship to watch. LEV is another major competitor in there, and you could see that one take a lift also. So keep your eyes on this. There's so many relationships here that you guys can keep and watch. In the comments, I just put out a big watch list for me. If you guys want to keep a look on that, definitely keep an eye out on that. But it's all over the place today. You also got crypto plays that are still moving well too. So, I mean, this is the time when I tell you guys, like, there's times when to hold on to your risk, when to hold on to margin. And I think there's times when to press that gas pedal. And a day like today is those days where if you're in good positions, these are the days that I like to push that gas pedal, because you can make great leaps in your profit to loss in your portfolio. And that gives you the jump in your account. And then when you get back into that uneasy phase where the market starts pulling back, you can limit your risk and actually give yourself that boost. I think it's very important when to know when to press that gas pedal and when to press the brake.
By the way, guys, if you want anyone to make our charts bigger, let me know. Someone asked.
Make sure that you're on 1080 too. Also, hit the settings.
Exactly.
bottom right, you'll see a little wheel. You can change it to 1080 and then make sure it's not on auto, because that's what happens a lot of times.
Yes, good call out. Good call out. All right, so that's the movers tool. And again, once the market opens, I always switch over from my movers tool to my scanner tool, which is blank right now, as it should be, because it only starts once the market opens. And once we get that, I'll pull that up, and then we can look at gainers and losers from 9:30 onward. What does pressing the gas pedal mean, Mitch?
All right, so pressing the gas pedal is all about, so one thing that you'll notice, and you guys can do this yourself, just look at your portfolio. A lot of times your broker will give you kind of a chart of your profit to loss, and you'll start seeing that you have waves. There's waves up, there's waves down, there's waves up, there's waves down. Hopefully yours is still on a linear path upwards, but one of the things that I tell you guys is I've seen it throughout my time in data that there's certain times when the market and your patterns just work. They just you're almost feeling like your guru yourself. You're like, oh man, everything I call is going up. But that's because your strategy and the data tells you right then and there that it's going into play. That's when you want to be able to go ahead and press the gas pedal and use more risk. Have some cash available for times like this, or even margin. I don't recommend using margin always, but only at times where you feel the market is trading almost exactly with your patterns and going really well on your data. Would you kind of agree with this, Ryan or Zunaid?
Yeah, I agree with the premise of when things are in your favor, push the gas, because the reality is you want to make sure that you're letting your winners run and adding to your winners and not doing that to your losers. The one thing I will say, though, is that margin can be tricky. And if you're new to this, you might actually be better off without using margin. I have a margin account and I just don't use it. I pretty much only trade in terms of how much cash I have in the account because I don't want to get myself in trouble. Margin is a quick way to find yourself in the poorhouse. Now, there's benefits to it and there's reasons to use that. And when you find yourself in an environment like this might be one of the times that you step out and do that. Just be careful. Know your risk ahead of time. Always plan for your risk.
Who was it that asked about it? Damon asked about ADS. Damon, I'll tell you right now what's up with ADS, right? Because here's what happened. You saw ADS in the down movers this morning, right down 17%. I go into our new Benzinga Pro newsfeed. I don't see anything that jumps out to me. So what do? I immediately go to what I have as a separate area in the platform. You can make it the same area, and I search for ADS in the press release and SEC filings newsfeed that I keep separate. And what do I see? Oh, a spinoff. So they're not actually down today. They're just spinning off a company that spinoff goes into effect today. So the stock, it says it's down, but it's really not, because you're going to, if you own ADS, you're getting some stake in this new company, LYLT, it looks like, and the information is all in here. So it says the stock is down. The stock's not actually down. It's actually just reflecting a spinoff. The value of your stake is still the same because you're also getting some shares in this new company. So that's what's happening with ADS today.
We actually just had this happen. Some of the users in our channel were trading Dell when it spun off VMware, and it was very, very similar. I think for today, your position and your broker might look all funky, but they will adjust that.
Yep.
Should be by tomorrow.
All right, guys, we got over 700 people in here. Someone's hitting the share button, and I appreciate you. So definitely smash that like button. Let's keep it going. Let's get some more people in here.
All right, it's 9:28 now. We got 2 minutes until the open. I will hop off at the open because I do have to prepare for futures trading with NinjaTrader at 10 o'clock Eastern time. So I will save your futures question, guys, for a half hour from now, because myself and our futures guru at NinjaTrader will be answering all your questions at 10 o'clock related to that. So
that's the next leap I need to take. I need to trade futures. 100%.
Okay. Well,
because when it's like 11 o'clock and you got nothing on Netflix, it's like, man, I got to be a degenerate. I need more.
You can always just do crypto, but
yeah, crypto is just, I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Now, last thing I want to give is, of course, the one and only. Will it go today? Where are the apes? The AMC.
You're still in this, aren't you?
I'm still long. I'm still long and strong. I'm actually, this is one of my biggest positions right now.
All right.
Reason why is the market's going great, right? Everything you've been seeing has reboomed. SPACs have reboomed. NFTs have reboomed. Even some altcoins have reboomed. Why not AMC in the meme trades?
It's got logic. It's not the craziest idea.
And AMC does report tonight. So
yes, they do.
I will be holding into it. I still have a good position. I'm up more than 15% on the name. So I'm going to hold into this. Let's see what happens.
Ooh.
GME is really the indicator for me. I want to see this back above 220s today. That will keep me into the bullish indicator, which was GME to begin with.
Wait, didn't we just have 299 likes? How do we drop to 285?
What?
Or did I just? I could have sworn we had 299. Never mind.
Zunaid out here doing detective work,
dude. We're going
investigative.
We're going backwards. I'm not quite sure.
I thought we were. All right, damn. I guess people didn't like the AMC call, man.
Hey, wait. There's our opening bell. Shoot, I ran out of time because I wanted to do a crypto update real fast because we were talking about crypto and I didn't get the chance. Here, all right, real fast. I'm gonna do that and let's let the market digest for 30 seconds.
Go for it.
I'm gonna do a real fast crypto update here. Let's pull up a heat map, which I'm gonna do, and you all can trade while I just do some quick crypto discussion. What do we got here? We got green on the screen. Bitcoin up 6%. Ethereum. Oh man, 4,700 in Ethereum, almost 66,000 in Bitcoin. Great day for the cryptos thus far. Let's see if we can hold that momentum through the rest of the day here. But very, very exciting day for Bitcoin here, for really crypto at large. Obviously, there's some cryptos in the red there, but by and large, a good day for cryptocurrencies. As a reminder, you can get some free Bitcoin. All you have to do is go to the Voyager app, enter the promo code ZING. Fund your account with $100, make your first trade. They'll give you $50 in Bitcoin for free. And now, guys, it is 9:31, which means you should all be rich by now. What have you done?
Not rich yet. I just went ahead and grabbed some calls in Lucid, $44 calls because it broke the $44 level. Let's see what goes ahead and happens here. I'm hoping to get at least about $45 out of this one if I can. I've got my trade up, right? Yeah, I've got my screen up here. And why did I do it? Again, mentioned that level of 43. So I went in and grabbed some calls, waited for that break if I could get it. If I was going to go down here, I was going to be out of it. My first target is going to be right around here, $44.80. And then the rest, I'm going to go ahead and hope to take to about 45.50-ish. And I'm waiting for the fill to happen. I'm about 5 cents away. Or I was.
All right, I'm going to see you all in a half hour for future trading with Ninja Trader and Jim Canina. Guys, go make some money for us, all right?
Will do. Yeah, just tell Jason thanks for the access to the Benzinga account to trade. Appreciate it.
I thought we got Spencer's account.
That's what I was told it was.
Yeah, let's just his password is probably the same as whatever he uses for StreamYard. So let's just go ahead and hook that up, you know.
All right, guys, I'm trying to do a swing trade here right off the back. DNMR. This is a DSPAC play. Look at the daily chart. I like the chart. I'm trying to get it back above 2046 right now. Orders out for 1950s. We'll see if I'm able to get a fill. We'll look to add if I can get a pullback down towards the 1935s, 1925s. But for right now, I do think this is going to push on up. So we'll see if we get a fill. LAZR is another one I'm keeping on watch. I'm looking for this one to pull back here to 1690s. I would take this one also. We'll see if we can get a pullback here, and I'll look to fill. What did I want to see? I want to see weak action that was coming into Thursday and Friday, which was these 2 days. And then I want to see today's high or yesterday's high, Thursday's highs get ripped through today. So that would be through 18 on LAZR.
Real quick on Lucid, if you're following that trade, it went and hit my target of 48,480, but I did not get filled. So for whatever reason, I guess there just weren't enough buyers there. So now it is down. I'm still in the trade, haven't locked in any profits. Still up on the contract, but for some reason, just did not get filled. If anyone was swinging those forward calls, you are up about 200%. If you wanted to go ahead and sell those.
And you know, Zunaid, I was looking at TTD, which had an earnings beat and had good guidance. It had a similar setup to NVIDIA and Microsoft from last week. Looks like it really hasn't pushed past this level, though. Kind of stopped there right at 82. Had a high of 85, was thinking maybe we'd have a YOLO opportunity here, but really nothing has materialized on this.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like the high of pre-market for was like 85, 89 or so for TTD.
Yeah, I have 85.58 as the pre-market high print today.
There you go. Let's see. Where's my Ford? I'm looking at Ford to see what it kind of sets up. Nothing there. Lucid testing low of day.
All right, I got a GME alert. So it looks like GME is getting strong out the gates here. Looks like it's up there to 216. Want to see it continue going like we talked about on the daily. Want to see that one get on up through Friday's high, which was 221. We'll see if that can make that move right out the gates.
Lucid on that double, not double, but yeah, you can't see it.
Order out
I
for
went ahead and tested
LAZR. Order out for LAZR. No fill yet. I'll let you guys know if I get some fills.
All right. Went ahead and grabbed some here at Lucid on the bottom, waiting for it to come on back and test. And then we've done this so many times. We've done this with AMD. We've done this with NVIDIA. Anytime it kind of comes back and tests the low of it, the risk reward is just great. Just snagging it here and waiting for the break of 43, and I'd be out. But that's something I'm in. We have to wait for it to kind of really pop with volume over the $44 level. So far, it is struggling, but I need this volume to kind of pick up. I'm going to go back on the 5-minute chart here. As you can see, the sellers came in above 44, and I didn't get filled, which is annoying, but it is what it is. Ford is something I'm keeping an eye on. Haven't really pulled any triggers there. And no real options coming in either that I can see for anything right now.
Yeah, look, I'm kind of watching lottery.com. I'm in the warrants. I'd like to kind of close this trade out. I'm up 70% on the warrants, so I'd like to clear them on a pop here. I think the warrants actually break above 4. As far as your LCID trade, what looks like this is pushing here, 44.50. What were your triggers again?
Yeah, so $44.80 was a trigger, and it hit that, right? But it just didn't get filled. It happens sometimes. So I am looking for that to come back up again because I have an order set. Someone might be thinking, hey, you trade options. I want to have comments as well that I grab, but also I have it set on E-Trade where it's like, hey, when this stock price hits this, sell this contract, like a conditional trade, which is why I'm surprised it didn't trigger. But it looks like we are getting a little bit of AMD action. Let me see what I can find for us. Give me 1 second. What's going on with AMD? Looks like we had a $3 million sweep in AMD, guys. They are buying. Oh my God, where is it? These options are just moving so quick. Sorry, hang on.
All right, guys. Basic materials up 0.73. Yeah. Energy right behind that. Financial services behind that. Technology in the middle right now.
AMD, these are way out there, so disregard or think about it, but it's the January 20th, 2023, 170 calls, paid about $4 million for it. And that's on ticker AMD. It's way too far out there, so I don't know what type of movement we will get. So not something that I'll here, let me see. Let me see what the options look like. By the way, I did go ahead and get filled on my Lucid for half. And
guys, this stock was parabolic in the morning in pre-market. We'll see if it continues right now. But PPSI, I'm sure this is a very low float trade. Monster move pre-market, about 80% up in pre-market. Looking like it wants to break through the high right now. Keeping an eye on it. This is PPSI right now. Charge point pulled back there at the gates. EVgo went straight up. That one doesn't look that bad. We'll see if that one can continue. I'm just going to keep running through some names here to show you guys what is moving. BE, Bloom Energy Corporation, doesn't look bad. Really strong reversal there.
PPSI halted at 645, by the way. Are you in this, Mitch?
What, PPSI? No.
Yeah, because this might have a ways more to go. They're going to halt this at 645. This has been a monster. You're right. Good call out here, Mitch.
Just wanted to call it really quickly. At least I was able to give you guys onto it before it halted out there. Well, guys, definitely Mitch, stay on it.
Now that it's halted, you want to take a look and figure out some levels here. I mean, just kind of looking at this, we got a high of 648 in the pre-market. right? So if we snap that 648 high, I think you could absolutely scalp this, especially if you have Mo coming out of the halt. Of course, dealing with the halt, what we're going to have to figure out is where does this thing actually open at, and where's the direction as soon as it opens. As far as I'm concerned, I think this wants to try above 648. And I think if it snaps that, you might have a little trade here.
I think that's where it opens. Watch, Ryan. That's what I'm calling the open.
Okay.
648, 650, pull back to around 6, and then rip through that up to 7. Next major resistance for me is 831s. So that's the kind of the level I could look. You could look at the dailies, also 733s. You can point out if you looked at the dailies, but I was calling it off of the weeklies. So somewhere there at the 730s, maybe you get a hold up PPSI. We'll see what happens. Definitely a big push right out the gates. Lots of volume in this one, 42.7 million shares. In the day prior, what did it trade? It only traded 53,000 shares. Yeah. So you're talking more than 100 times the relative volume. If you've ever heard that term relative volume, this is exactly that.
Yeah, I use relative value. I use the relative volume parameter in my scanner on a daily basis.
Reopening trade that looks good today, Monday. Look at this daily chart. I might take a swing trade on this. This is a pretty chart, guys. There's not many charts that I like that are just stand out to me. This is one of those that stands out to me. It's more expensive, and so that's probably why it stands out to me. It's an easier pattern to read when it's more expensive, but definitely looking good. Coin not doing too bad. Hood is where I thought would have a good week. We'll see if this one gets roaring through 38. That's what I'd be paying attention to on that one. Let me see if I got some fills here. Was trying to get some fills. I put out some orders here right out the gates, but the real question is, did I get filled? All right, looks like we got 2 fills, guys. We got LAZR and DNMR. So we got some fills here. I'll start pulling up the trade here and drawing it out here for you guys. So LAZR was able to get it right there at 1690. What? VWAP bounce trade, guys. That's exactly what we like to attack. This one of Zunaid's and I's favorite tack is right off the VWAP right there. LAZR pushed up, pulled back. I already grabbed some up there to 1720. We'll see if this one can get roaring. We talked about what I want to see is it go through these highs. 18 is where I want to see it end today. Above 18 can really give me a nice bullish look in LAZR. All right, next one I have is DNMR, Dynamere Scientific. I'm looking for this one to break through the highs today, which would be 20s. Just got it in there on the pullback. It should have 1950s. Let me just make sure. Yeah, 1950s. So looking for this one to break through 20s today. Wanted to hold 19s on pullbacks, and let's see if we can get a lift in Dynamere Scientific, and we'll see if we can keep moving. Another one I have an order out for is HTOO, but this is a lower float trade. Still haven't gotten a fill, so I'm just going to keep trying to get my entry. You guys out there catching up with the chat, what's going on? Spencer comes back, and his account is doubled.
That would be awesome. He loved that.
Definitely. You guys smash the thumbs up, catching up with the chat now. Have you guys seen a stock that made a major move right out the gates? Throw it up in the chat. That's what I got you guys for.
And Jay Towers in the chat saying PPSI a pumper. Jay Towers, that is probably the case here. As Mitch was saying, that this is a lower float. So be careful as it is. But with this, there's still opportunities to trade this here, right? So we're gonna keep watching this.
All right there, 648. Let's see what happens here. What happens at the open?
Lucid trying to break that 45. It peaked above, but now it's trying to hold it. Unable to at the moment. Looking for AMD to sustain itself over 140. So far, no good. And Ford is over 1950.
And Fuel Cell taking out 10 right now.
Ooh.
Fuel Cell up at, big, nice gap and actually pushing 10. They're trying, and there it is, 10 down. They're through now.
Here's one that I'm liking right now, guys. I want to keep PPSI up, but DM looking good also for me. This is one I'm still in, pushing on up. Look for triple D also to look strong today. Nice little VWAP bounce twice. Now you can look for the breakout through 3370. We'll see if triple D and DM can get roaring here. Another one that I have, SEAH. I'm looking for that one to get back up 11. We'll see what happens with that one.
PPSI open.
PPSI?
Yep, 692. It's high. Currently pulling back here now, pushing back up towards the high. This thing might go higher here.
This is one of those that these are the ones, Brian, that I used to go after that I avoid like the plague now. Reason why is I've made money on these and lost money on these. That's the truth. So it's very difficult to trade these. Why? Because you have to know what I call the ultimate risk. The ultimate risk right now is this just watch down to 6, like in like literally an instant. And so you have to know that with your share size that you're going in. You can't always understand sometimes when you're making split decisions, especially momentum stocks, what fully your risk is. That's why I take what's called a risk and an ultimate risk in momentum names. What does that mean? So I have my risk that I'm trying to get out on, but if for any reason I just see a quick tick down to that ultimate risk, I don't care what, I'm taking it off. There's the pullback towards about 1630s, now pushing back to 690s. There's 699s. Can we get through 7? We'll see what happens here.
Yeah, I mean, this just looking at the level 2, this seems really strong.
Mm-hmm. You know, it also helps.
But this is what makes these hard to trade, right? They'll pull these things 34. Here we go at 7. They're going to take 7. Just right now, my gut feeling is that they take 7 out, but you can see right here, like as soon as they push it up to 7, they pull it. There it goes. Look at that. That thing spiked 16 cents as soon as they took 7 out too.
All right.
I got 617 on my high.
Yep. Now you want to see 640s hold on any pullbacks and let it keep running. That's what I would look for, because that's a 5-minute resistance starting to build at 640.
Lucid is over 45 now, waiting for it to stay over it. So far, so good. Looking for it to push $45.80 will be my next take profit in that one.
Lucid, baby, is trying to get up to the gap. Zunaid, do you see that daily gap?
Let me go back up here.
Look at that daily gap. If you zoom back, you see that one? Right there,
here?
bro. That's what it's trying to get into. It's trying to get into that party.
And that the reason that that's perfect is that's around the $50 area, which would be the ultimate target, kind of like what you talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Simply because of the fact that it's a psychological number and all that other good stuff. But hey, if it wants to go all the way to 50 today or this week or whatever, please come on down.
Here's another one that I wanted to take a look at. I put it in the watch list in the chat. This is why you got to sometimes stick with what's going on in the chat. QS was one of those names that I gave. Look at it right out the gates. Up there about 5.5% right out the gates there. This is another one with a daily gap that I've been looking for to fill, which is up here by 80. So look for this one to start roaring. I'd be keeping this one on watch, QS. One was supposed to have an earnings today, Palantir. This one looks interesting. Look how it's trying to get back through the highs. This one's an interesting one if you're keeping a look at it. Also has a big chart and could gap up there towards 30. We'll see what happens in this one. I do think it has earnings. Look at that. I like that hourly chart.
Yeah, and Mitch, to your point, that 30 level is really, really important. I think we take that out. I think we pop this towards 35, to be quite honest with you.
And I like that.
You actually might have a little bit
that
of
hourly chart
at 32 there, but I think we go to 35. We take out 30.
It's a pretty chart. There's a lot of times hourly trade like this. I like that, because what you're getting is you're getting hourly pullbacks, supports to hold multiple times, 1, 2, 3 levels. On the 4th time, you should break out and continue your momentum. From this point, if it goes back to support, I would get out.
Man, Lucid is really screaming.
It is, and I'm out.
New highs.
I'm out another
Lucid
set of contracts.
Lucid,
and then the rest, and the rest, I will just go ahead and let it do its thing. But now I've locked in the profit to where everything is gravy from here on out. So, and I want to kind of quickly explain why we went ahead and took this one. One, because it was on before in the top of the show, pre-market, talked about the levels of where I would go ahead and set in. I had my triggers and alerts set. You see, I have another one set there. Went ahead and grabbed some calls right around VWAP, and I knew the break of 53 was going to be my stop loss. Grabbed some, for some reason, didn't get filled on the profit target. And then when it came back, I went in and grabbed some more, because to me, I was hoping for another bounce and kind of have a double bottom, if you will. And then same risk reward for me. So far, it worked out. As you can see, it's just trending on upward. VWAP bounce here would have been another spot to add. I did not. But so far, so good. And now it's going to go ahead and do whatever it's got to do. The profits are locked in, and let's just see what happens at the end of the day.
All right, guys. Like we said when we opened up the show, we're going to do this every single day. So stick right here, live trading with Benzinga. Let us know what you want to see more or less of. You know, one thing that we definitely want to help you is bring you the style that you're looking for. One of the ways you can help us is give us some feedback in the comments after the show of what you want to see more or less of. You want to see us breaking down strategy? Do you want us giving out more ideas? Do you want us just using a scanner, maybe having a scanner on the top right for you to looking for stocks that are moving? Whatever you want, we will go ahead and do it because it's all about you guys out here in Benzinga. So smash that like and let's keep it going.
Someone said taking it off means transfer to your external account or sell. I don't know if that was to me or who, but whenever I say selling some, taking some, talk about locking in profits.
Yeah.
So I don't know who that question was directed to, but that's how I see it. And if anyone says I'm taking some off here, it means they're taking the risk off, aka they're selling it. By the way, enough about Lucid for now as it goes ahead and rockets past 46. Excuse me. AMD, I'm hoping for this one to go ahead, and I did go ahead and I want to. I haven't done it just yet. I have an order out there to get filled if it comes back to VWAP. My risk would be 138.86, or if it goes over 140 and it holds, I want to grab some calls as well. But I mean, Ford is going nuts as well. Again, EV type play so far has been working out really well. So those Ford calls are still good. And then, of course, this is just, I mean, now for me, next stop is going to be 49 something. I'm not even going to worry about Lucid till then. But so far, so good, man.
Hey, can't blame you, man. Good job, Zunaid.
Thank you. Thank you. Hope people in the chat took it. You know, it's always more fun when
absolutely when we're making money for the community.
Trust me on Lucid, you don't got to worry about people taking trades.
Profitable trades.
Oh, there you go. That one. No, that one you might have to worry about, but
you've got yeah, there you go. That's exactly
right. PJ here saying you guys totally rock. Would love to see more of how you use Pro. PJ, we are always trying to vary up what we're looking at here. Mitch, if you want to share my screen here,
let's do it.
One of the things that I'll do during the trading session, like right now, PJ, is I'll actually use our scanner tool that we have. And Mitch mentioned it not long ago. Relative volume is one of the things that's really, really important. That's actually one of the things that I use in my scan here. And so basically this scanner in the top is looking for stocks that are trading up, liquid stocks, that are trading up on relative volume. And a lot of the times what I'll do is I'll just kind of go through the different charts here. Here's TTD, which we were talking about. I'm kind of waiting for this to take out the high here, so I keep checking on it. Here's Pola, which is one of the stocks Mitch mentioned earlier.
Pola, it left me. Pola.
And so you can see that the relative volume scanner that I've got running here is picking up a lot of the plays that we've been talking about. I noticed there were some other people in the chat trading Airbnb also having a nice day right out the gate. So relative volume, if you need any of these filters, I'd be happy to give them to you. I can just show them to you, right? I can just click on active and here they are. 1 million shares of volume, relative volume of 3 and change over the last 1 minute window, 0.2. So hopefully that's helpful. If we come up with more stuff, I'll go through it here as we use it. But again, we're kind of floating back and forth.
Palantir is staying strong. Palantir is staying strong, Ryan. That's one that I'm going to be mad that I don't grab for the long term. I'm not going to lie. That's one that I've been calling out for a while. I like the support touches every time it does it. And now it's starting to look good.
Yeah, really great chart here too.
Yeah, I'm going to take a quick early one. 140 calls on AMD got filled at a $3.70. My risk will be probably about 30% of the contract. So please know your risk in terms of
which
if you're going to grab comments. 140, I got filled at $3.70. 140 calls for this week on AMD. My risk will be 138 and like 90 cents on it. What I'm hoping is that it goes ahead and goes above 140, kind of regains a little bit of momentum for itself and then continues to go. But so far, looks like it's below VWAP, not looking too pretty. This one might be an ugly quick exit. Come on, don't do it. Don't do it. It might do it. But while we figure out what that does, Ford, again, creeping up against towards $20. I really, as soon as this breaks 20, I want to kind of like quadruple down, but I'm gonna try not to do that. because I just think tomorrow is. I think that's when the IPO is. It's tomorrow, but we'll see. But let's go back to AMD real quick. Thankfully, it went ahead and popped right up. So far, we're good. So far, we are alive. That 139 level was key in terms of psychological number, but it can also come back and knock it out of the park. So let's see what happens. Looks like Lucid took a little bit of a dip, and now it's coming right back up.
All right, so I want to take you guys back to PPSI. I know that some people are probably trading this monster mover today. Might have to add it to the freaking thumbnail because you already know there's going to be the search for it. Look how it came up towards that daily resistance. This is why you got to look back at the time, guys. So it went up to 728. I was saying 733, but it went to literally 727. So this is why you got to always look back in time and find your resistance so that you know at least where the levels can start freezing up, and literally it froze up right there off of that daily level. You know why that happens a lot of the times? It's not so much that, daily levels are just the all-no resistance. No, what it is it's self-fulfilling prophecy because other traders look at that level and understand it as resistance also.
It looks like the trade desk pushing above that 85 level.
Ooh,
here.
TTD. Look, I'm going to call it right now. Pub M. I was looking for it right out the gates because TTD. I haven't taken a look. Boom.
Pub M is up.
What do you see? And right out the gates, look, watch. Right out the gates. Look at this line I had drawn. This is the look I was looking. I drew it on 11/8. What? I drew it at 8:16 in the morning. I was already looking for Pub M to rip. This is relationship trading, guys. You got to look for the laggard style type play. Why? Because TTT led here, giving you that strength, looking for what? Weak Fridays and Thursdays, exactly what you had in Pub M, giving you that reversal with the relationship. Another trade that I would have looked at was MGNI. So Magnite to go strong today too. And look what you see, a good looking chart there. That's what it's about, guys. Relationships are so important in trading. And a lot of what I do is trying to find the laggard play or find the relationship that I can play because one led and I can follow the other, not because I want to play the leader. If I want to play the leader, a lot of the times I feel like I'm going to be on the wrong side of the game because I'm late to the party trying to join the party. And when you're late to the party trying to join it, you better be in and out because that's what I've learned is that you try to get in that party and then you get a little destroyed. It's how it happens.
That you get a little destroyed.
Just a little. Just a little.
Funny.
Just a tiny bit.
The one thing about having relationship plays or sympathy plays or whatever it is that you want to call them, it's actually very helpful to have something else to watch to kind of give you your mile markers. It makes it almost more mechanical as opposed to doing it by feel or letting your emotions kind of rue the day. I like that with sympathy plays. The one thing that I'll say is that sometimes those sympathies are weak. Sometimes they're just kind of being mentioned or said. It's not necessarily a really good tie, so it can go either way. It's a nice way to manage risk, though.
Yeah. So one tool that I use my TC2000 to get me to relationships is by working backwards from macro to the industries to the stocks themselves, because this is what helps me find relationships a lot of the times and how I learn a lot of the relationships. Sometimes you're not going to even know the relationship until you did this kind of analysis and then learn it. So this is what I do often. So I'm going to go ahead and just do a really quick one for us here. Energy leading us 0.99. If you look for specifics in there, you could see a couple of these doing really well. PXD, FANG. Look at HES. Wow, that's a good move there. HES. So definitely these energy plays are probably the plays that are being played upon from the infrastructure bill. But a lot of these are going to be harder to play because you probably don't even know these companies. But look at Oxy, good trade there. Basic materials, also steel leading. We talked about steel on pre-market prep. Let's see how X has done. It pulled up, came back towards the VWAP now. Copper also doing really good. I like FCX. Called that one out earlier. Was looking for that one to hold. Let's see if it holds VWAP now. It went on up there right out the gates about almost 30%, pulling back here about 1.3. That's pretty good. I would look for it to hold at least 38.50s on this pullback and then get right back up there towards 38.75s. We'll see what happens in that one. Financial services doing well today. Mara showing up on here. So Bitcoin stocks, look for Riot to have done well. Look for another one that I'm looking at, Hut. How did Hut continue? Hut actually pulling back right now, giving you an opportunity. BTCM is one that I'm looking at to see if it gets strong. That one's not looking the best right now. What's another one? Hive blockchain is another one I'm looking to see if that one can get strong. And the one that we've been looking at and calling out, MSTR MicroStrategy. It had a strong pop in pre-market, looking like it's pulling back down through the gap, but we'll see what happens in this one. Anyone that you guys are seeing out there making a big move, guys?
I don't know about a big move, but you've got AMD.
You still Lucid? You still dreaming?
Well, Lucid? Oh, I'm still in it for sure. Let's go ahead and pull up my chart if you've got it. You've got AMD here. Again, remember, we went ahead and grabbed calls right around here, hoping to have it not break that 138.84 area where so far it's been good. It's held. Now it's over 140. I'm not going to lie. I'm not the most confident in this, which is why I have not added more calls so far, but I still have the original one that I went ahead and got at 370. The bid is now at 390, so it's not like a big gainer whatsoever. Ford, no surprise whatsoever, rejecting the $20 area. I have no problem with this. Let it consolidate. Let it go ahead and figure out what it wants to do, and then a break above would be nice. If you go ahead and look at my screen, you'll see that I have an alert set, because if it does go ahead and push with volume, I want to quote-unquote quadruple down on this one and get greedy with it. I'm still trying to figure out if I want to lock in some gains here, though, because I have 1, 2, 3. I have like 3 different calls on Ford. So I'm trying to see what I want to do. I've got the $18 calls that we were swinging from last Monday. I've got the the $19.50 calls and the $20 calls. So
why don't you sell the calls that are in the money and then roll them to higher ones?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, right? The not the $19.50, the $18 calls, I can definitely go ahead and sell because they're up like 230%. And then maybe once it breaks 20% or $20, I can go ahead and add it. I like that. Let's do that. Let's go ahead and sell these. Let's see what we get filled at. All right. Out at $2.04. That's another thing I need to get better at. I'm glad you mentioned it. Rolling up and things like that.
Yep.
Definitely something that I am not the best at, because then you're just kind of leaving quote unquote money on the table, if you will.
All right, guys. I'm sorry. We are getting way too excited. This is what happens with live trading. You start trading.
Ooh,
start focusing on trading, and then I see my Slack just like buzzing on the right hand side. But I don't know what's going on, but I'm pretty sure it's get the hell off, Mitch. All right, guys. So that's going to do it for us today. We do have some futures examples to look into coming on next. With that show, you'll see Spencer Israel. Go ahead and learn about some futures. This is the game that I don't even understand. So I'm even myself going to go ahead and tune in. And after that, we'll have the SPACs attack. Like always, guys, hit the like. We'll be back tomorrow. Actually, no, tomorrow we have the awards. So we'll be back on Wednesday. We'll be back on Wednesday with live trading, but this is going to be an everyday thing. So go ahead, hit the subscribe bell below, and that way you get notified when we go live. Anything you guys, my traders, what's up, guys? Anything you want to leave off with?
Hey, it's been a great trading day. Just keep an eye on Lucid. It's near that $45 level. If you want to grab it here, and stop loss will be 50 cents below.
I'm going to watch those ESG plays, not just the EV and the charging plays, but all of the ESG plays with the infrastructure bill being passed. So I just want to see where we go from there and see if we stay in melt-up mode.
Go Miami Heat tonight. Going to the Nuggets game. Going to the Heat game.
Nice. Have fun.
Let's go ahead and do it.
Is it in Denver?
Yeah, it's in Denver. It's the only time I get the Heat to come and visit, so I got to take them when I can get it.
Got to do it.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time. Up next, you guys got some futures game, and we'll see you next. Hit the like. Let us know. Did you guys like live trading?